Although Michael B. Jordan delivered a stellar performance as Black Panther's villain, Eric Killmonger, the character was inspired by a classic Denzel Washington movie that grossed $27 million at the worldwide box office. The success of Black Panther and Black Panther, Wakanda Forever has led to Black Panther 3's development, which will further expand the mythos of Wakanda's greatest warriors. Even though a huge contributing factor to Black Panther's continued success stems from Jordan's memorable performance, Killmonger's appearance and attitude lend themselves to one of Washington's classic movies from the 1980s. Due to his controversial philosophies, fighting prowess, and connection to T'Challa/Black Panther, Killmonger is one of the MCU's best villains. Furthermore, his subsequent appearances as seen in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever and What If? Perfectly demonstrate the influence that he continues to have over his universe's characters and the Marvel brand overall. While Jordan's acting skills and commanding screen presence contribute immensely to Killmonger's success, credit also has to be given to Washington as well. From Killmonger's mission to his appearance, he has more in common with Washington's role than most would assume. How Denzel Washington's role in Glory inspired Eric Killmonger in Black Panther. Both characters share similar physical traits and ideologies. One of Glory's claims to fame is its depictions of the horrors of war, as well as Washington's performance. Washington's work as Private Silas Tripp from Edward Zwick's 1989 historical war drama, Glory, influenced Killmonger's appearance and his attitude towards both white and black people. As a runaway slave, Private Tripp has endured many horrors, which contributes to the character's cynical view of the world. Additionally, his strained relationship with some of his fellow black soldiers further complicates his view of the world, as he believes any black men who don't share his militant views are automatically content with slavery. During Glory's flogging scene, Private Tripp receives more scars on his back for disobeying the Union Army top brass. In Black Panther, Killmonger has a similarly disfigured body when he reveals that he keeps track of the 2,200 confirmed kills under his belt via the self-inflicted scars adorning his body. Similar to Private Tripp, Killmonger views some of his fellow black people as equally responsible for the black man's plight, since the people of Wakanda refuse to use their resources to help suffering black people in other parts of the world. However, the two characters' senses of morality separate them. The differences between Washington's Private Tripp and Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger. Despite their similarities, Killmonger adheres to genocidal tenets whereas Private Tripp does not. Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger defeats Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa in Black Panther. Although Private Tripp's cynicism is partially valid, he grows to find a more level-headed approach to managing his emotions post-flogging, and, in an unforgettable display of bravery, lays his life down for his and his fellow black people's freedom in Glory's climax. Killmonger undergoes a similar level of character development in Black Panther's climax, which further demonstrates the characters' similarities. Despite what Private Tripp and Killmonger have in common, Killmonger's intensity and unwillingness to see the other side of his argument is ultimately what distinguishes him from Washington's Private Tripp. While both men display jaded and militant views of the world, Morgan Freeman's Sergeant Major John Rawlins eventually convinces Private Tripp to develop a more moderate worldview. Killmonger never relents despite T'Challa's pleas, and instead, leans more heavily into his warped view of justice, which ultimately results in him being one of the MCU's most complex villains yet. Although both characters share a number of similarities, Private Tripp's willingness to change and even die for his newly restored views juxtaposes perfectly against Killmonger. Nevertheless, Black Panther still owes a lot of its villain success to Glory.